up everyone, welcome to OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Jordan Brickett and welcome guys to another random movie review and also welcome to another Disney movie review. Today I'm going to review a 1991 cult classic that was popular back then and not as popular now, The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is directed by Joe Johnston and stars Billy Campbell, Timothy Dalton, Alan Arkin, and Jennifer Connelly. Cliff Secord, played by Billy Campbell, plays a pilot moo who finds his prototype rocket pack hidden in one of his planes. Cliff and his best friend Peavy, played by Alan Arkin, decide to test out this rocket pack and they seem to enjoy it. But we find that there are people that are hunting this rocket pack, including Timothy Dalton's character Neville Sinclair, so the Rocketeer has to use the rocket pack to save the day and he becomes this new superhero that we know and love, the Rocketeer.
What? What's the matter?
I don't know, there's something under the seat.
Oh my, what do we got here? What are you supposed to do? Is it a bomb or something?
No?
I wouldn't touch that if I were you. How do I look? Like a hood ornament. Stand clear. What was that?
Now, I want to review Disney films that are just completely underrated or unappreciated. Last time I've reviewed Bolt, a Disney animated film that's very, very underrated. So I decided to take it to now a live action form. What is the most underrated Disney live action film? In my opinion, if I could answer that, that is The Rocketeer. This movie came out in 1991, and when it was released, not much people really talk about because this movie came out the same year as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Beauty and the Beast. So when it's released, not much people really watch the movie. First, it did go well in the box office and then it bombed. It did just become a cult classic, but not much people really talk about The Rocketeer anymore. The Rocketeer has always been in my life. I remember when I first saw The Rocketeer when I was very young, I think I was 9 at the time. I was at my grandma's house for a sleepover, and I did woke up a bit early because I couldn't sleep, so I decided, let's watch some TV, because I have a TV in my bedroom. So I put the TV on, and straight away, we get a scene where the Rocketeer saves Malcolm out of the plane. And I continued watching the movie, and I fell in love with it as a kid. But one question, does the Rocketeer still hold up today? In my opinion, absolutely. I love The Rocketeer. In my opinion, The Rocketeer, if I can put it in my top 10 favorite Disney films of all time, Rocketeer is definitely going to be in that top 10 list. This is the movie that I grew up with as a kid, and in my opinion, it still holds up till today, and it's probably one of the most underrated Disney live-action adaptations of all time, because this was an adaptation of a graphic novel with the same name by Dave Stevens, which the comic books was a bit more adulty than the movie was. It's trying to be like Indiana Jones, bit superhero. So in this movie, they made it kid-friendly so kids can watch the movie, and it didn't work out back then, and that's very, very sad, because if I was a kid, which I was, I would have loved The Rocketeer. If you were a kid, you'd probably like this movie. But now I'm watching it in the same era now, where the MCU exists and the DC Extended Universe exists, where superhero movies become fun and entertaining. The reason why I thought The Rocketeer was so well, because it just goes back to why we love superhero movies, because most superhero movies back then, before the MCU comes out, is a character study. Don't get me wrong, the MCU does have a lot of character study, but they just have the exact same opinions that I have with those films, you know, like entertaining, fun, and I still love them, but The Rocketeer brings me back to old school superhero films that I just loved as a kid, you know, like Superman the movie, or Tim Burton's Batman movie. It just brings this whole old style superhero tropes, and this movie tells a bright example of that. You know, like when people go, look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's the Rocketeer. It just has those vibes in it, and I honestly really appreciate what this film was trying to do. It basically pays homage to these old style superhero films. I would say the cast in this movie was also really legit, and there are big actors, but not back then. Timothy Dalton was definitely a big actor back then, because he played James Bond before this film. And I gotta say, Timothy Dalton, let's talk about him first. I think he plays a really great villain in this film. He plays a very smart villain, especially when I rewatched the film, I'm like, yes, that's what villains could do back then in the 30s. Like, you know, like seducing Jennifer Connelly to get to the hero. And I thought his character was really interesting in the film. As a kid, I'm just like, you just want to get along with Jennifer Connelly, but then when you watch the film, you're like, this villain was actually smart. He knows what he's doing, and Timothy Dalton, from James Bond to this villain, he plays a very legit villain. He is really great in this film, and he definitely stood out with the Rocketeer. But of course, we're going to talk about Billy Campbell as Cliff Sickard, or the Rocketeer himself. Now, when you watch the Nostalgia Critics review of the Rocketeer, which he also really liked, he said that not much people give him much praise after the movie. And that is very sad, because I think Billy Campbell plays a really great hero lead. I love his character, Cliff Sickard. He basically plays like an Indiana Jones meets Iron Man character. You know, he's a very confident pilot who doesn't have anything to go in his way. And of course he has a girlfriend played by the hot and gorgeous Jennifer Connelly. This is probably the hottest movie I've seen Jennifer Connelly in. Just his life was just, you know, complete shit until he finds this rocket pack and it kind of changes him. And I thought him playing this whole protagonist character, he plays this really cliched hero character that we've seen many times before. But I don't mind that. I thought Billy Campbell was fantastic in the film. The only other film I've seen Billy Campbell in is Enough, starring Jennifer Lopez. He plays this really stalking husband character. But honestly, I want him back to be other hero roles like this, because he was great in this film. Again, Jennifer Connelly in this film was just, attractive in this film. But I gotta say, she was also really good in this film. Like, there is parts in this film I'm like, okay, yes, that's actually a smart decision she does in the film. And then she becomes this Damsel in Distress, which I'm fine with that, because like I said before, this movie pays homage to this old-style superhero film, so I really do appreciate that. We also got supporting cast like Alan Arkin in the film, plays Peavy in the film, Cliff's best friend, psychic, mentor. I love him in this film. His chemistry with Cliff in the film just makes me smile. It's a very good friendship chemistry in this film. I love them two together. Yes, there are parts in this movie that do not hold up. Like the flying scenes, you can tell they are green screen. But it doesn't look that bad in my opinion. Yeah, there are parts that are very, very noticeable, but this movie came out in the 90s. Yes, there are a lot of movies that does way more better special effects than The Rocketeer did. Like, you know, the original Star Wars movie had more impressive special effects that still hold up than The Rocketeer was, but I honestly don't mind. When you see him flying in this movie, you just feel a sense of wonder. You feel a sense of Disney magic. Like, when you see him flying, it looks great in the film. And that's probably why some people did not like this film, because this film doesn't really have as much action, you know, like Rocketeer doesn't throw a punch in the movie till the end of the movie, and I can understand that. But honestly, we have really great characters, we have a great story in the film, that at least I was entertained from start to finish, and I don't even care if the Rocketeer doesn't throw a punch, because this is just an entertaining adventure film. And speaking of adventure, we got the score by James Horner. Holy crap, the main theme of this movie, iconic. One of my favorite movie scores of all time. Just when you hear that score in the opening credits or the opening scene of the movie, you feel a sense of wonder, you feel a sense of adventure, and you feel a sense of Disney magic. There were parts that were a bit dark, and it's meant to be like family friendly, but there were some death scenes in the film that just felt, yeah, a little too dark for a kids movie, but it's still a family friendly adventure film. The way I see The Rocketeer is like a mixture between Indiana Jones and Iron Man. It does have those vibes. And this movie is directed by Joe Johnston, who directed Captain America: The First Avenger. And when you watch these two movies together, they do have their similarities, because the timeline in this movie took place in the 1930s. So the timeline of this movie looks so convincing. You look like you're actually in the 30s. And that's what's cool about this movie. Like the art design, the landscapes, and all that stuff. You can tell that this movie looks like it's been filmed actually in the 1930s. Guys, overall, I love The Rocketeer. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite Disney films of all time. This is a film that always has been in my heart. Got the Blu-ray recently, watched it again, and I just want to review it because I still love the movie. And also recently I got this really awesome Rocketeer figure right there. That is honestly one of my favorite figures in my collection. That's how much I love The Rocketeer. And honestly, I really want to see a remake of this. Hopefully they do like a modern remake of it. Now, I know they did a Disney Channel Junior show, which wasn't really that good. I actually really hated it. Yes, I watched it. Because I'm curious. I'm a curious guy, okay? I can watch whatever I want.
You can't stop me.
But The Rocketeer, in my opinion, still holds up today. It's a really great adventure film. It's a great superhero film. Has great characters, great story. Yes, there are some bits that don't hold up, but honestly, it's part of my childhood. It still stays in me. And I think The Rocketeer as a film, it's a really legit fun superhero film. So guys, that is my review of The Rocketeer. Guys, let me know down below what Disney movies you want me to review. And have you guys seen The Rocketeer? Do you like the movie? Hate the movie? Or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and everybody, have a nice day.
How do I look? Like a hood ornament.